It doesn't surprise me that over 80% of women who have completed the My Menopause Transformation symptoms quiz tell me that they're overweight. I still remember the weight gain myself. In my late 40s and early 50s, it was really going on around the breast, underneath around the diaphragm, and certainly the belly. And it seemed that all my efforts weren't working. The high intensity exercise, the weight training, changing my diet, nothing was really helping my fat. And after I started to work with women and finish off my doctoral studies, I began to really understand that I was approaching it all wrong. And there are certain things that we need to be doing as we come through the menopause transition into post-menopause, especially those of us who go into menopause already overweight or obese. And it can be such a challenging time, and of course it can send us into post-menopause cardiovascular disease, high blood pressure, and also type 2 diabetes, let alone the fact that we find it harder to move and move freely. I'm Dr. Wendy Sweet from My Menopause Transformation. My Transform Me weight loss program has been changing the lives of so many women, and I'm having an intake round about mid-July. I want you to pre-register it because there are 5 things that I'm going to help you to focus on. The first one is understanding that you need to sleep all night, and what we need to do is focus on our sleep. And therefore, if we're sleeping, then that helps to stop the gaining. If you really think about it, you cannot lose weight until you stop gaining. And I'm always saying this to ladies on my program. We need to change your metabolism. How do we do that? We have to sleep all night. So I've got the strategies for you for sleeping all night. Even if you are sleeping all night, then it's really important to have the right quality of sleep. The other thing we've got to do is focus on 2 organs that are changing as you come through your menopause transition. The first is the liver and the second one is the pancreas. And those are 2 organs that can actually store fat, pancreatic fat and liver or hepatic fat. And that can lead us to more changes, not only with type 2 diabetes, but struggling with glucose or blood sugar regulation. And certainly in the liver, it can lead to non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. And so if we've got challenges going on with already being overweight or obese, you might already have that extra fat storage in the liver and the pancreas. And again, this can be problematic for women who can't seem to lose the weight no matter what they're doing. So what I've got is I've got quite a few strategies for improving liver health first and foremost. If we can get on top of our liver health, if we can start to reduce the saturated fats in our diet, if we can start to help the liver do its job of clearing toxins, then that's the starting point for you turning around your metabolism. The next thing we have to get on top of, so number 3 is we've got to get on top of our stress. Now, stress is everywhere, and it's really hard. People kind of talk about it a lot, particularly in menopause. But by stress, I mean not only feeling that you've got a lot going on and you're overwhelmed, but some of you are actually doing too much exercise and you're physically stressed, especially if you aren't sleeping. And for those of you who might be doing shift work or you're in busy physical jobs, that can be another source of stress on your body. And that can be problematic because our chronic stress hormone, cortisol, which everyone's talking about at the moment, but they're not really fully understanding that we need some cortisol, but we don't need too much. And what we want to do is we want to get that cortisol back in balance again, because if cortisol is high, then that impacts your thyroid and it impacts your sleep and your anxiety. And what that does is increase your heart rate and certainly makes it really challenging for you to lose weight because your body feels as if it's in fight or flight mode. So it's hanging on to the fat, and fat is has a survival function, particularly in women as we get older. The other thing that we have to do is not only focus on our stress, but we have to understand that The fat cells themselves have a secret life. I had no idea about this, but if you've got a lot of, if you're already overweight or you've got a lot of fat now, you've got a lot of belly fat, you've got fat under the breast, or your breasts are getting larger, then what can happen is that the fat cells themselves are storing excess estrogen and producing it. Now, I had no idea about that. So what we have to do is we have to find ways for your fat cells to stop producing estrogen, and certainly for your body to clear estrogen. And that is where gut health is really important, particularly soluble fiber. We need to focus on helping the body to clear excess estrogen and turn that away. So the other thing, my fifth factor, is what is your vitamin or vitamin D levels doing? Because if vitamin D is low, then that can be problematic for weight gain in menopause. And I say this because I've experienced this myself, and not one person told me about this. So I'm telling you now, if your vitamin D is low, then there's a kind of a roundabout way that impacts your sleep. And this roundabout way is because the role of vitamin D is to help your body absorb calcium. And of course, we know we need calcium not only for bone health and for our teeth health, but also calcium is needed in muscle contraction. So all of you ladies doing a lot of exercise, you need to have good calcium levels, or else your body starts to become acidic and it draws calcium out of your bones and teeth to make the body more alkaline. So vitamin D is really important. And a lot of women are taking supplements, but they actually don't know what their vitamin D levels are doing. So this is how we can actually also get the body back in balance. And when I talk about the body, I'm talking about the HPA thyroid axis, the hypothalamus pituitary thyroid adrenal axis. And if we can get that back in balance, then your body will start to reset. It will start to normalize menopause, which is a normal part of our life cycle, and we can then start to shift our menopause weight. So I hope that you can join me. I'm Dr. Wendy Sweet from My Menopause Transformation. My PhD was in women's health and aging through the menopause transition, and what I've done is really worked hard to help all of us untangle the lifestyle evidence that we need to put in place as we come through menopause, but those of you in post-menopause, if you're finding that your weight is getting out of control, then come and join me if you can. Go to the website, My Menopause Transformation, click on the programs link and have a read about the Transform Me program, listen to my video, and hopefully I'll see you inside your member area.